Greetings and salutations, fellow grown-up collectors of plastic things. That's right, Devastator is here. You read that right. The Combiner Accessory Kit for Devastator has arrived, and we can now build our own Blokees Devastator. And I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited. And if you don't know about Blokees, they create model kits and collectible items of all shapes and sizes for all different age groups, and they work with many different brands like Disney, Hasbro, Pokemon, Ultraman, and specifically Transformers. The Blokees Transformers Devastator combining accessory is great, but of course it does require you already have the 6 Constructicons: Scrapper, Mixmaster, Long Haul, Hook, Scavenger, and Bone Crusher. And I'm going to tell you exactly how to get those 6, and then we're going to build them, and then we're going to put them all together to build Devastator. So let's have some fun. But first, a quick shout out to our Soundwave giveaway winner, James from New York. He assures me Soundwave is going into his personal collection, and I'm super happy to hear that. The amazing little Constructicon vehicles are all part of the Galaxy Defender sets of Blokees building kits, and they can be found in version 1, 2, and 3 of the boxes. So you're going to need all 3 boxes to build this. Box 1 comes with a lot of really cool figures. I have to say, I've been having a lot of fun messing around with all of them, but most importantly, Box 1 comes with Scavenger, both in his robot and alt mode. In Box 2 Defender version, the Overthrow, you will find your next 2 Constructicons needed to build Devastator. And once again, there are a lot of cool figures in here. I was super happy to see my boy Inferno in both modes. That was incredible. The Starscream is great and Shatterglass Ironhide, but Bone Crusher and Hook are in there, and we need those. We'll find our last Constructicons we need in Box 3, and it happens to be my favorite, not just because it's called Heavy Metal War, but it also has some amazing figures. Jazz and Skywarp are great, but that Grimlock is incredible, and I'll show you him in a little bit. I love him so much. But of course, we need out of this box Scrapper, Mixmaster, and Long Haul. Now, of course, you'll find these as blind boxes sold separately, but the best way to get them is to order the whole boxes. I absolutely love that you can fold them out like this. As a collector, it's just a fun way to display these, and I know some people are going to buy them and just leave the boxes like this. But of course, that was not what I was going to do. I'm going to crack open every single one of these boxes. I'm going to build every single one of these figures, and we're going to build Devastator, and we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. And by the way, thanks to Blokees for sending me these kits, and for sending me especially the Devastator accessory kit. And of course, another reason to buy the whole box is that each box comes with one of these incredible collector cards. These things just have amazing artwork, and I love the reflectiveness of them. They just look really cool. But now let's get to building. If you're here and excited to see Devastator, then you probably already know that Blokees are, of course, building kits that are super fun to put together. They're not too complicated, especially the Defender series. They're not a lot of parts, and once you've built a few, you'll get the hang of it, and you can move through them pretty quickly. I absolutely love this Thundercracker, and I love building these guys, but we're not going to show building every single one of them. That would take a long time, so we're going to skip ahead. But before we do, let me just say one more time how much I love this packaging. It just looks incredible. And by the way, in Box 3, I found my favorite collector card. This Soundwave card is just incredible. Of the 3, I'm definitely going to put this on the wall somewhere. I really love it. But I'm going to have to keep buying boxes if I want to find that Ravage. So here is the full lot of everything I got out of those 3 boxes, minus, of course, the Constructicon vehicles. We're going to get to those in a second. But as you can see, there's so many awesome G1 characters to choose from here, both Autobots and Decepticons, some of them in gold, and some of them are what they call glittering, which is translucent. You also get a few pairs of the robot and alt mode together. That Thundercracker and this Inferno are awesome, and I really love this Shatterglass Optimus Prime. Some of my standout favorites include this brilliant Megatron. He looks incredible. I love the special armor type Bumblebee. My man is ready to fight. Shockwave has been one of my favorite figures since the G1 days, so I really love this model kit, and I love the fact that they have the cable coming from his back to his arm. And of course, Optimus Prime looks absolutely incredible as well. But my favorite by far has to be the Grimlock. Look at this guy. He just is amazing. Love him. And of course, I'm always a sucker for translucent plastic, so these glittering types are also really cool. Needless to say, I had a lot of fun building all these figures, and I love the Autobots, and I particularly love this collection of Decepticons. But now we got to start building our Constructicons. So we'll kick off the building with Bone Crusher. And once again, if you've done this before, it's not a lot of trouble to build these. It is fun. These are, in fact, model kits. They're figure building kits, so part of the fun is supposed to be putting them together. But especially with this Defender series, most of them, there are not a lot of parts, so you won't have much trouble, and it won't take a lot of time to build all of these. So if you're in a hurry to get Devastator put together, you shouldn't have a lot of trouble doing that. I also do want to say one more time that the Devastator Combining Accessory Kit only comes with the parts you need to actually build Devastator, but it does not come with the Constructicon vehicles. Those are each sold separately in the Defender Series 1, 2, and 3 boxes. I think you get 1 in the first box, 2 in the second, and 3 in the third. So the kit only comes with the parts you need to put it all together. Just want to be sure people are clear on that. I imagine, because I've seen a lot of this online, I've read a lot of this in Reddit and other places, that a lot of folks who might be interested in this video already have most or all of these Constructicons anyway, and they've just been waiting desperately and patiently for this Combiner accessory kit that honestly a lot of people thought we were never going to get stateside. So it is here now, and so now that we have all 6 Constructicons built, we can finally get started on the process of putting together Devastator. Just like with all the other model kits, what you're going to get inside is a little collector's card, the plastic bag with all the pieces you need, and of course they're really well done instruction manuals. For Devastator specifically, you're going to get a front page that has the main structure assembly, and then on the back it's going to show you how to prepare most of the Constructicons to put together. And like I said, this is laid out so well. The first thing you're going to want to do is get all those pieces out of the bag and make absolutely sure you cleared out that bag, because some of those pieces are small and they can get lost pretty easily. The next thing I like to do is organize all the pieces in a way that just makes sense, arms and legs together, chest, all of that sort of thing. So now here you can see in this overhead shot, I have organized very well and I have everything the way I need it. So as I start working on the main structure, I'm not going to have to dig through a pile to find the right piece. So the first thing I decided to do was build Devastator's head. As you can see, you get 2 options, 2 different face plates, and they're both really cool, but I had to go for that one on the left. Just look at that grimace. That's the Devastator face I want to see. So that's the one I chose. And then it was just a matter of sticking him into the back and the front part of the face plates to put it all together, and now you have Devastator's head complete. The next thing I did was start working on the arms. So that was easy enough. I grabbed the front and back plate for the main section of the arm, snapped those together, then I snapped the joint in, snapped the fist in, and there was one arm down, and then a second, and the arms were done. Next, I just added a joint to each one of the legs to get those complete. Next up was the ever important crotch segment, and for that all you had to do was add the back and front plates together, then press the skirt onto the front and attach the 2 wheels. And by the way, those are the wheels that come from Long Haul. He's in fact the only Constructicon that you're going to have to deconstruct a bit to help form the chest plate. And to do that, all you really need to do is pull the hood off the top, it might be a bit tight, snap both the wheels off the front, and then disconnect the back of the cab from the front. And here's an important possible missable step, because I missed it the first time around and only just now realized it. You need to remove the wheels from the back half of the truck as well. And then you need to take the cab and pop it onto the top of that. That'll form the back of Devastator. So once you've done that, just set that aside. And now we can attach Long Haul's wheels to the crotch piece, and that's that part done. You build his weapon by simply pushing the 2 halves together, and then you can attach the barrel to the end of it. From here on out, things get a lot simpler. You just move Hook's hook to the side like this and attach him to the top of Long Haul's cab to form the sternum. Forming the legs of Devastator will feel pretty familiar. We start with Scrapper for the right leg, and when you push those arms around, they will kind of click into place to let you know they're solid, and then of course you just reshape the blade to make sure it's in the right spot to form his foot. And of course, once we have the foot, then we just need to grab one of the thighs. Note the picture in the manual to make sure you grab the right one. But once you have it, that'll snap into place on top of the foot. And once you have that, that's the right leg done. For the left leg, now we need Mixmaster. And I think I said earlier that we only need to deconstruct one Constructicon, but we do need to do a little bit of work to Mixmaster. In fact, all you have to do is pull off the cab on the front. Not that part though. You need to pull off the full cab from the front, because you see you have that little hole on top. And now you can stick the truck back into the top of the cab, and that's the left foot done. Then of course just attach the thigh and you're good to go. Here's another missable step, because I did up until now. You're supposed to remove the wheel from the front of Mixmaster, which makes sense, and it probably helps his stability when standing, but I never did it. You'll notice from the earlier video, and I haven't had an issue. But since I have removed that wheel. Now to prepare his arms, all you're going to do is take Scavenger and Bone Crusher. You're going to attach those special arm joints and the fists to each one of them, set them aside, and they're going to be ready for the full combiner mode. So we're going to start with the legs and put those in place, and you'll notice Mixmaster now is maybe slightly a little off or a little unstable. Again, totally my fault. I never took those wheels out. Again, he stood pretty well. I had no issues with him, but it is important to note that I messed up on that, but that's okay. What am I going to film the whole thing again? The hip should snap into the ball joints on the crotch piece quite nicely. You can put the flaps down, and then once that's done and complete, then you can grab the sternum and attach that to the crotch. Then just snap the left and right arms into the ball joints on the sternum, and it's time to put the head on. And if you hadn't done so already, attach the joint on top of the sternum that the head will go on, and then pop your head of choice on top. And hey, don't forget to attach the extra parts from Long Haul onto Devastator's back, because I sure did. But now it's there and he looks incredible. It should come as no surprise to anyone who knows Blokees that the details on this figure are absolutely incredible. So here's a quick rundown on his articulation. The arms, both left and right, will of course do a full 360 spin. The elbows will bend at the joint forward about 90 degrees. Outward motion from the shoulders is hindered somewhat by, of course, the build of Devastator, but it's not too bad. And his head can do a full 360 exorcist twist, so that's good. If you lift the flaps out of the way, the legs will swing forward 90 degrees, and you also get about a 90-degree knee bend as well. And both of the feet actually have okay ankle tilt for the size. I have to say, I'm not sure what I was expecting having a Devastator of this size, but he's actually really fun. And there's something really cool about having a sort of smaller scale Devastator. He of course scales great with other Blokees from the Defender series, but he's a lot of fun to pose with other characters as well. So as we take one final look at Devastator, please try not to judge me for not removing those wheels from Mixmaster. And by the way, I have to say, he stands just fine with the wheels in there. He might get a little more stability with them out, but I kind of like the look of them in, so I might just end up putting him back in. Anyway, absolutely love this figure. I love the size of it. I love the molding and the details. As a model kit, it was so much fun to put together, and it's going to be just as fun and easy to break apart again and mess with the Constructicons again in their vehicle mode. And as always, thank you so much for watching and have an absolutely wonderful day.